most students जो है, they don't struggle because they're not intelligent enough or they have not been able to study anthropology. ठीक है, anthropology का syllabus आपको पता है. The struggle basically comes because they lack direction for 75 to 80 days. The kind of an answer जहाँ पे you can say to the evaluator, I deserve the highest amongst all these people. And look at these results as well. You can see rank 9 Aditya Vikram Agarwal, highest ranker from anthropology. Priya Singh Chauhan, ठीक है, 306 in anthropology. Nobody starts by imagining themselves कि मतलब वो final list में इस position में हम रहेंगे. ठीक है, rank comes later, first comes the work. In these, I'm going to basically teach you how to think like an examiner. How do you structure your answers? ठीक है, how do you do everything that you want to do for a particular question? You can see these. Okay, and this is basically what our students have basically done, and you will be doing it as well, and hopefully, you know, next year I'll have to add you in the picture. If there's one thing that I want you to do now, okay, and a very common mistake, right, probably right after watching this video, is start writing today.
Just would like to share my journey with Nataraj Sir, who has been helping me get through these tough times in the past 3 years. His personalized mentoring, his daily, almost daily calls, his constant guidance, his just way of telling things is a lot different from what we get in the market right now.
In anthropology, I wrote tests only with you. So that was the only test series that I wrote, the only feedback I got for my optional. So I completely and blindly relied on you, and I think it did help me.
Hello everyone, my name is Nataraj. I'm anthropology faculty here at Sarrthi IAS. So we are launching our QEP Plus program for anthropology starting 2nd of June, which is Tuesday. And before I tell you about the program, which I will in just a bit, I just want to tell you something, and something important. You know, most of you are probably a lot stressed right now. Prelims just got over, you know, cutoff kya hoga and so on. I understand this year's prelims has been a little unpredictable. And, you know, thinking about the next exam, कैसा होगा, ठीक है, how is it going to be? See, you know, some of you might be thinking कि मतलब, you know, I have not completed the syllabus yet so far as optional is concerned. Some of you might feel कि I am halfway through the optional का syllabus, there's a lot more to do. Some of you might be thinking that I've done all of my syllabus, but you know, there is half that I probably don't even remember. ठीक है? So you might be actually wondering whether it is this 75 to 80 days is even sufficient to be able to improve your anthropology ka score, your optional ka score. My answer is very simple. Okay? This is not just your thought. Okay? This is a thought for many students. Okay? It is natural to feel like this. And I know this because, you know, I'm hearing from you, I'm getting messages, emails and so on. And I do get these exactly right after prelims every year. Okay? My answer is very simple. Okay? Absolutely, yes, 75 to 80 days is a long time. Okay? Because what matters is not where you are today. Is this clear? What matters is that where are you going to be in 75 to 80 days from today? Okay, the only time that matters is August end. Okay, that is a long time. It is long enough for any of your weakness to be addressed. So for example, if you feel कि content improve करना है, it is long enough to be able to improve your content. It is long enough to improve your answer writing. It is long enough to, you know, do whatever it takes to be able to score significantly higher than what you think you can. Okay, so please don't judge yourself. Okay, you tend to be very critical of yourself, so don't judge yourself too harsh based on where you are today, because it doesn't matter. The only version that matters is the version of you that writes the final test in August. Okay, end of August that. Okay, so if there's one thing that I want you to do now, okay, and a very common mistake, right, probably right after watching this video, is start writing today. Okay, not after revision, not after saying, you know, I will finish all of my notes first and so on, but today. Okay, because there is no such thing as mains ka preparation without having a pen and paper. Okay, of course not this pen, okay, you know, but preparing for mains starts only when the pen is touching the paper. Okay, and generally answer writing volume जो है, generally अगर आप देखोगे for students answer writing volume जो है, it is directly proportional to your final score. The ones who have written a lot more, okay, they are going to be at a higher bracket. Okay, and I'm saying not just random answer writing volume, right? It is focused, it is purposeful. There is something that you are trying to implement. Okay, it should be answer writing a volume done with proper feedback, with proper correction, and with clear targets. Like when you're writing today's answers, right? There is a clear target. Ki matlab one thing that I'm basically working on to improve. Okay, at the very least, when mains comes, okay, you should be able to say that, you know what? I am satisfied with what I've done for the next 75 to 80 days. I wrote enough. I wrote a lot. I gave my best and I have absolutely no regrets because इससे ज़्यादा मैं कर नहीं पाता. ठीक है, and that's exactly what this program is basically designed for. So we begin on the 2nd of June. ठीक है, class language is going to be English and Hindi में मैं explain करूँगा, and the class notes are going to be in English. ठीक है. Let me tell you about what makes QEP Plus program. What exactly does it contain? What exactly makes it different? Most students जो है, they don't struggle because they are not intelligent enough or they have not been able to study anthropology. ठीक है, anthropology का syllabus आपको पता है. I don't have to tell you much. Very, very well defined and not, so exhaustive. ठीक है. The struggle basically comes because they lack direction for 75 to 80 days. In fact, the direction in the 75 to 80 days might basically go again this way, this way, this way. ठीक है, it is not uniform, it is not consistent. ठीक है, they read a lot, but they are not writing. They collect a lot of material, and they read that material as well, but they don't have enough time to revise them. They know all the concepts, but they don't know how to present them and where exactly to sort of present what. Okay, what is relevant, in which particular question. And that is where QEP Plus comes in. See, the backbone of this program is going to be a lot of writing sessions. Okay, we have it as live answer writing sessions. We have 30 of these. We call it as laws at Sarrthi. So generally in these sessions, हम क्या करेंगे? I'll be covering a lot of these PYQs. ठीक है, previous year questions, previous year themes, and even expected areas for mains. ठीक है, मतलब anthro is generally a lot more predictable. In fact, I think except for 3 questions or something amongst, not from the 19, from the entire 29, almost all of them we had basically done it in our program. Paper 2, I think almost every one of them is covered except for maybe 1 or 2 dimensions of a particular question. But those questions or the topics have been already covered. Okay. And in fact, in this, we had done close to 190 questions in last year. So students, if you see, that is equivalent to writing 10 tests, 10 extra tests. Okay? So more importantly, in these, I'm going to basically teach you how to think like an examiner. How do you structure your answers? Okay? How do you do everything that you want to do for a particular question? Address the demand of the question, how to use scholars, all these kind of things, but that too within the 7-minute, 11-minute, 14-minute, within that time. How do you use scholars? How do you use examples? How do you ensure that the diagrams are integrated seamlessly? Okay? And many students, unfortunately, they postpone answer writing. They think, and this is a common problem, and I hope that, nobody who's watching this particular video will ever, be in that position. Don't make the mistake that, has happened, learn from other people's mistakes. If anybody thinks, I'll first prepare properly, and then once my preparation is all done and I remember everything and everything is hunky-dory, then I will start writing. Okay? That never works. Okay? What works? Say zyada, if there is one thing that definitely does not work, it is this. Okay? I'll finish everything and then I will start writing. Mains ka preparation is not, it doesn't start unless the pen touches the paper. Writing cannot be your final stage of preparation. Writing is your preparation. You improve anthropology only by writing anthropology. I'll show you so many of these examples of students, kitna volume they had written before, and now you can see some very, very high scores. Okay? Along with this, regardless of, in these tests, what you, in these writing sessions, what we do, and also in these tests, and I'll come to the test in just a bit, I'll provide you with some concise study material. It'll basically cover everything. जो आपको validation material तौर से आप use कर सकते हो. We are going to have tests जहाँ पे it is going to be 6 sectional tests, 8 full syllabus tests, detailed evaluation होंगे, mentorship directly by me होंगे, and that'll matter. And please remember that sectional test जो है, again, a common mistake a lot of students do is that sectional test ke liye, I will basically start writing, when I feel I kind of am perfect for that particular topic, for that particular module. Sectional tests are not meant for perfection. If I could record some of my conversation with my students who have made it, double-digit rankers, single-digit rankers, you know what they say? Sir, kuch bhi kar lijiye, sir, but wo sectional test kisi ko by mistake bhi dikha mat dijiye. Okay? Sectional tests are, one of those jahan pe it is meant for the struggle. Okay, you're going to be done with only 70% of your syllabus. You kind of remember, kind of don't remember. Okay, you still don't, you've not gotten the hang of writing for this year. Okay, you don't have the speed, you don't have the handwriting, you don't have the presentation. Okay, but can I basically sit for 3 hours and somehow put in 45 pages, 46 pages, 47 pages, okay, and try to make as much sense as possible? Okay, am I writing what I have studied, or am I basically writing what is the demand of the particular question? Doesn't matter. Okay, but this is, this is like rough work. ठीक है, don't make this your perfection बोल के इसको delay मत कीजिए. ठीक है, the real deal is this, the 8 full syllabus tests. ठीक है, 4 rounds of paper 1, paper 2 का that one. So मतलब this is just to get you ready for this. ठीक है, अगर ये पहले लिखोगे तो मतलब you're not going to be ready. ठीक है, the first test, your first test and your last test cannot and should not look similar. ठीक है, if they look similar, the test series has failed you or you have failed the test series. Every test should be something that is teaching you something. This week, you're learning this. Okay, this week, I'm going to basically focus on one thing. I'm going to basically write better introductions in 4 to 5 lines for every single one of the 19 questions and every single question here as well. Okay, I'm going to write a better conclusion. I'm going to try to find diagrams to implement जब करूँगा, ठीक है, I will make it integrated so well that it is answering one particular aspect of my question. I will learn the art of argumentation. ठीक है, at least 16 out of 19 questions के लिए let me try to see if I can introduce more arguments. Let me try to see if I can basically substantiate my arguments. That is how score improves. 1 week, one thing, improve that with a target. ठीक है, so please don't postpone tests. Okay, don't write everything in the final month. ठीक है, again, you know, something that happens, right? So I've had a lot of students. In fact, you know, there are students who have scored 300 plus with us, like, you know, the second highest score, I believe, in anthropology for last year. Okay? It was not a good start, okay, but it was a start. Okay? The value, you know, of all of your hard work over these 75 to 80 days only comes, you know, if you're improving over a period of time. You need time to work on one particular thing that you're trying to improve. It is not only कि मतलब I will study for the entire time period and then I will write all the tests that are available, all of these things that are available in the last, let's say, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Fatafat, I'll just finish it. No. Then your first test to last test has not seen any kind of improvement. एक improvement के लिए we have to just invest some time and we have to be conscious. Subconscious में होना चाहिए कि basically this is something that I'm trying to target. This is something that I'm trying to work on. Is this clear? Okay? And, you know, let me also try to show you the kind of difference that we are trying to make, you know, so far as, you know, your answer writing is concerned. Okay? Look at these 2 answers. Of course, I'll show you some actual answers of our students. See, when you start, there will be some form of, you know, this kind of a start. Ye hoga. Okay? The first answer is not necessarily wrong. It is trying to address a particular question. Most students start like this. Yeah, but the initial answers is going to be some form of this. They know the topic. They know the content. Okay? But the answer basically is not the kind of an answer jahan pe you can say to the evaluator, I deserve the highest amongst all these people. Okay? You are basically trying to persuade them or trying to convince them that I should basically be scoring the highest for this particular question. 1 mark extra chahiye in comparison to my competitors. Okay? It will be a little difficult. But if you look at the second answer, okay, I'm not saying this is a perfect answer, but I'm saying, you know, you have worked on structure, you've worked on including, you know, thinkers in your answers. You're looking for examples, not just for the sake of examples, but that example is helping you make sense with, you know, it's basically trying to, you know, substantiate an argument. Okay? It's overall better anthropology. And ultimately, what matters is whether it is going to lead to better marks. And that's exactly where QEP Plus is designed to do over a period of time, in these 75 days, in these 80 days. And one very important point, please don't get, you know, distracted by this unlimited AI ka content and I'll have content for everything. Okay? Understand, in that exam hall, you know, you're by yourself. Okay? And there is going to be questions in front of you and you have, you know, you have to do the heavy lifting. Anthropology mein, and this is basically to address the question that many of you have asked me, emailed me, you know, messaged me, okay, that I did everything. I feel like I have done justice to every single question last year, but mere marks have basically been at 125. It's been only at 130. What did, you know, some of these students do who, you know, who are hitting 160? In anthropology, understand this one thing, okay, most of you have written mains before you have worked very hard. Okay? The toppers have not worked even harder than you. Okay? They've done something, I'll tell you what they do. Okay? Understand this, not all examples are equal. What does that mean? Not all scholars are equal for a particular topic. Not all case studies are equal. See, for example, in case you're going to be writing about a particular topic, let's say tribal uthalo. Okay? If you're writing about Forest Rights Act, okay, almost every single week you're going to see in the newspaper ki this is happening, Forest Rights Act, this is happening. Not all examples are the same. Certain examples, for example, your Simlipal, for example, your Kangir Ghati, for example, your Hasdi Arand, for example, your Mendelekha. Okay? These are repeatedly discussed in anthropological literature. Okay? Every single week there are issues, but there are some that are repeated in anthropological literature. Okay? Almost in every edition. They become the poster child examples. Okay? They become the main examples for that. Your evaluator, if they have to talk about like one particular example for that, okay, this is what it is, this is the scholar, this is the case study, this is, okay, so you've got to understand what is happening in the literature. If you talk about tribal displacement, okay, of course there are so many scholars who are there, okay, but some names stand out more. Okay, if you ask your, you know, evaluator, they're going to tell you not more than 2 to 3 names if it is here. You've got to hit that. Okay, I'm sure that you've hit something else. Okay, and that's pretty good enough. But you know, system aisa hai ki what they teach, what they do, what is being written, what is being published, that is a lot more important. What they know is basically what you have to try to hit. Okay, for example, Walter Fernandez. Okay, that's a name that every evaluator recognizes immediately. They'll feel happy. Hey, this is what I've been teaching. Okay, and this is not only for tribal. This is not only current. Okay, you've got to know what is happening in the world of anthropology. Okay, take physical anthropology, biological anthropology. Okay, I'm sure that you know what is sickle cell anemia. Okay, aajkal na, there are so many advanced tests for sickle cell anemia. But do you know what is being done? You know, if you open Indian University ka practical manuals, if you basically see what are happening in these anthropological lab records, India mein, main bata raha hu, in universities mein. Okay, if you look at, Anthropological Survey of India, any kind of research, right, you will repeatedly see one thing, and that is the traditional sickling test. Okay, it's a visual screening test, sodium metabisulfite. Okay, this is very simple, very old in fact, very basic. Aajkal to itne advanced methods are there. Okay, but what is being done by your professors? What is being published by the graduate students, the PhD students? What is being done by the postdocs? You've got to understand this. If they're going to, let's say, the Sholiga forests, okay, and they're doing some sort of a project jahan pe they're trying to find out ki, what percent of the, let's say the population, 30%, 33% of them have some form of, sickle cell anemia. This is being done through which test? It is through these very basic old traditional tests, sodium metabisulfite. ऐसे बहुत सारे examples आते हैं. ठीक है, मतलब if you ask AI and advanced universities वगैरह में, मतलब ये होगा ही नहीं उनके थिंग में. But this is what is being done here. If you hit this one, it is going to score you a lot more in comparison to writing the most advanced things itself. So मतलब ऐसा है ना, ठीक है, मतलब it is fair or unfair की question नहीं है. ठीक है, if you're writing CBSE का exam, you have to basically quote from NCERT. The same diagram, the same picture, the same alignment, the same examples. Okay, this is how the system works. Understand how the system works. Okay, work, within that particular system. Okay, so my job here is going to be, what is that one thing? Okay, what is that particular topic area, which kind of scholar is needed? Which topic basically needs which kind of case study, or which specific sort of case study? Okay, which topic needs which particular report? Which topic basically needs which kind of example? And that is the main difference between 150 plus and 160 plus kind of scores. They usually come from writing what the evaluators already are expecting. That's what they have been teaching. That is what. Along with it, of course, you have to add your depth, and you have to add your structure and crafting ability, presentation. All those things are going to be there for sure, right? Okay, and that has to be better than the others. But there are some things that are more important than the others. This is to answer the question to the students who basically, I did everything. Okay, I can't see where I can improve another 30 marks in this paper, another 30 marks in the other paper. Now you know. Again, I'm going to give you direction, I'm going to give you a structure, okay, and I'm going to really push you, okay, every single week. There are going to be certain kind of targets. Every single week we are going to work on one thing, in order to sort of like improve it, okay, improve, something in your answers, right? One particular skill set you're going to develop over a period of time. And, answer writing volume is going to be good. Work ethic aapke paas hai, please come, okay? It will not go for a waste, okay? All you need is good direction. Okay? The ability to put on that hard work is always going to be there. In fact, if I can show you some examples, okay, just to show you some examples of what we have done here or what we've been able to do here. In fact, this is Priya. Okay, Priya Singh Chauhan. She had scored 306 this year, I think 165-ish and 145-ish. I don't know exact breakup, मुझे याद नहीं रहता है exact number, but 306 is the number. I checked it just. Okay, in fact, she would have done better. But paper 2 mein, if you had seen my interview with her, okay, paper 2 mein, instead of low Paleolithic, she ended up writing upper Paleolithic 20 mark tha. Easy question tha, or vice versa. I forget exactly what it is. She was really worried. I said ki matlab rank to definitely milega. And I'll tell you exactly why as well, we have a little more time. Okay? She was a topper only in one test. Or, amongst the toppers in the last 2 tests. And she was the absolute topper in Sarrthi IAS ka Anthropology ka test series for the very last test. Okay? And the second highest topper, I believe, in all of India. Could have been even higher, okay, but sometimes that's what happens. Okay, in those 3 hours to have your concentration throughout, it's not a very easy task, But her anthropology has gotten her to IAS. It is anthropology that has brought her there. Similarly, you can see many others who have put in this kind of effort. Good amount of answer writing volume. This is another student, double-digit rank. Again close to 116 one of the papers. Okay, again anthropology has gotten the IAS. This thing. If you score 160, there is no way you're not doing well. So you again have Aditya. Aditya has been my student for a couple of years, 3 years, in fact. Again, in fact, if I tally the overall answer writing volume, I think he will be at the highest. Rank number 9, highest ranker from anthropology in the previous year. Again, so you can see, okay, another student who was, I think 21, barely, when he or she was writing mains. She was writing mains, and at 22, got the rank as well. Okay, again because of anthropology, one of the highest in anthropology. Some really good writing, really good crafting skills. But all these things have actually been because of the volume of writing. In fact, the student has basically done around 20 plus tests, between that prelims and mains. And that is not to mention the amount of tests that she did during the foundation. Okay, so answer writing volume will never let you down. Again, so आप देख सकते हो, there's going to be a lot of answer writing. Okay, I'll tell you exactly how to structure. Okay, what I want to see, how many lines would you like to see, how do you dimensions कैसे खोलते हैं, sub dimensions कैसे होने चाहिए, what should be the right breadth, what should be the right depth. It comes with practice, and as long as you're willing to sort of put in the volume and see, मतलब I will tell you exactly करना क्या है, सिर्फ करना है आपको. So look at this. Okay, so again, so short notes बनाना है. So for example, when we have solutions and validation, whatever I discussed, ठीक है, उसको कैसे आप, how do you ensure that you implement this for the next one? Uske liye we'll make a list of things, and when you're writing that particular test, your goal is basically what? To show me that what we have done. Okay, that basically goes into your paper. That becomes important, right? Because they're not going to know what you actually know. They only know what you have been able to bring into your paper. And sometimes after writing the answer, ye ho sakta tha, ye aa sakta tha. Okay? But you have to consciously practice bringing all of those kind of things with a specific target. Okay? So uske liye, how do you make your short notes? Very straightforward hoga. ठीक है, मतलब करना क्या है? Okay, diagrams are kind of important. You will know, मतलब you must have, there are a couple of things that you must have heard, कि मतलब I insist on diagrams, and also that my students basically make it in the very first mains. Okay, so those are a couple of things. Okay, we have to find ways to sort of differentiate ourselves, right? मतलब it's not a easy thing. But I'll tell you कि मतलब ये करना क्या है, कब करना है, there'll be homework, मतलब school type का ही मैं चलाता हूँ. ठीक है, all you got to do is, school में अगर है तो मतलब assignment submission. But you will get the benefit of it. ठीक है, answer writing volume will never, as long as it is in the right direction and it is purposeful, and जहाँ पे you're working on one particular thing. Okay, and you will have it. मतलब you 4.5 days में मतलब you can revise it multiple times. And so on. Okay, so you can see these. Okay, and this is basically what our students have basically done, and you will be doing it as well. And hopefully, next year I'll have to add you in the picture. Okay, and so on. ठीक है, I'll tell you exactly करना क्या है, कब करना है, मतलब ये सब आप मतलब क्लास में ही करते हैं. ठीक है, it's all assignments. Exactly, you don't need to look at any other material. ठीक है, of course आपका base material रख लीजिए. The rest of it is going to be whatever needs to be added. It is going to be added. So this is basically, look at this. My writing in 3 months feels very good to see them. Look at the work ethic. ठीक है, it'll never go waste. ठीक है, at the end of the day you have to be satisfied कि मतलब I gave my best, right? And look at these results as well. You can see rank 9 Aditya Vikram Agarwal, ठीक है, highest anthropology student, highest ranker from anthropology that year. Very high scores, very good anthropological insights as well. Priya Singh Chauhan, ठीक है, 306 in anthropology, 160 something in 140 something. Paper 2 was a issue. And so many successful students. What makes me really happy here is most of these students have actually cleared, they've been on the rank list in their very first mains with me. Just one mains. Okay? And in fact, even if you see Priya, okay, she was, most people see rank 45. Most people are like, how did she manage 306? What they don't actually see is where she started. She's very inspiring. Okay? You could go through the interview that I had with her. She was actually scoring only in the 40s initially. Okay? But, she had some things. मतलब she always has a smile. She's always having enthusiasm. 5 बार prelims नहीं हुआ है sir. ठीक है, इस बार I don't care. I just happy to be able to get a chance to write. ठीक है, so many challenges, so many things to improve upon. Didn't matter. She simply kept showing up. Every writing session she'll be there. Every test I know that she will be there. Every deadline मुझे पता है कि मतलब किसका मतलब I know for sure that one thing तो I'm receiving for sure. ठीक है, every one of my mentorship sessions, she'll be there. In fact, she became the top. I think I mentioned this already, right? She became the topper only in the very last full length test that we had. In fact, very few actually made it till the end. ठीक है, she did even the last test. ठीक है, you have to do the whole program. ठीक है, first test, she was scoring in the 40s. But that is how improvement is supposed to work. ठीक है, another misconception is many students think that the toppers basically score more because, they answer difficult questions. Go back to the interview with Priya and then you will understand this. It is not really true. ठीक है, even she left 2 to 3 questions in paper 1. ठीक है, and when I asked her, is there anything that you could have written, sir? Like, I don't remember anything. Like, I did not have anything intelligent to add to this particular topic or relevant to add to this particular topic. So where exactly is the difference coming? Many students have scored 200, 220. Let's say somebody has scored 206. There's so many students like this. Good students who have done really well in GS. If one student is scoring 206 and one student is scoring 306, where do you think that 100 marks has come? Okay, is it in the 2 to 3 bouncer kind of questions? It is not in those, because wahan pe even she has not been able to attempt those. Okay? It is basically, wherein she is able to get that extra 1 mark, 2 mark and 3 mark in the every other doable question. Okay? So where your focus should be, it should be in the questions that are like 15, 16 questions doable honge. Okay? She was doing that every single question again and again and again. Okay? Every single question that she has attempted, she's scoring 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 marks more. And honestly, that is what most of these students have done. They don't choose those bouncer kind of questions and go in that particular direction. They're not scoring from those bouncers, but they're scoring from, every other doable question. Jahan pe they are doing better than everybody else. Structure wise, it is better. Dimension wise, it is better. Substantiation wise, it is better. Art of argumentation, better. Introduction, better. Conclusion, better. Ability to get extra 2 to 3 marks is what they have more than the others. There are many stories, maybe in the course, during the course, I'll basically tell you. And before I leave, if I can just tell you one final thing, I know exactly what must be going on in your mind. Okay? You must be having some self-doubt. Okay? I hope not, but I'm sure that it is possible. Okay? You must be having a little bit of fear. Lag raha hai ki matlab Delhi bahut dur hai, UPSC list bahut dur hai, and so on. But trust me, okay, that's exactly where even students like Priya basically thought the same thing. Okay? I just want to have a mains ka ek experience. 5 baar nahi hua, 6th time I want to have it. Most rankers basically have the same thought. Aditya when I was basically talking to Aditya just 2-3 days before the exam, he was saying, I'm saying that good rank will come. He's like, sir, rank aa gaya to that's good enough. Okay? You understand, no? Nobody starts by imagining themselves ki wo final list mein is position mein hum rahenge. Okay? Rank comes later, first comes the work. Okay, what changed for Priya? Okay, 1 mains, that's all was required. 2.5 months, roughly 2.5 months, that is all. Okay, not some magical strategy. Of course, she's very enthusiastic. She's always smiling, always wants to sort of improve. Okay, she's always showing up, she's always writing answers, she's always taking feedback seriously. She'll come and ask, sir, maine ye kiya hai, based on your feedback, have I been able to implement it well enough? Okay, most importantly, trusting the process. Okay, overall, if you see, for the next 75 odd days, okay, you be the Arjuna and I will actually be the Krishna. Let me be Krishna. Okay, don't worry about the result. That's what Karma Yoga says, right? I'll tell you what to do it, when to do it, how to do it. Okay, you just focus on the work. Okay, you just focus on your execution. All you've got to do is basically show up just like the others did. And just trust me. Okay, and I'm telling you this really, okay, just trust me on this. If you write every single answer, if you write every single test, including the last test, okay, and around the same time, okay, without doing all of them at the end. And if you're able to implement the feedback honestly to the best of your ability, you will surprise yourself, okay, far more than you can imagine today. So, in case you're having any self-doubts, okay, stop doubting yourself. All you got to do is start writing, okay, start improving. When you start writing, you will start improving. And give yourself a genuine chance. 75 days, 80 days. Let's make these 75 to 80 days count, because it is still 75 to 80 days. I'll see you on the 2nd of June. All the very best. Aajao. Okay, let's get to work. Take care. Bye-bye.